If you look at this mirror, your height changes, they said. I didn't believe it, until that night, when my reflection was late to move and something 8 feet tall stood behind me. My name is Raka. 2 years ago, I saw thrill-seeking content in the Kiyotaki Tunnel. It was a foggy night, the smell of iron hung in the air like old blood. At the entrance, a weathered sign bore a warning, and on the inner wall, there was a red scribble, "Do not stop." I turned on a small light, laughed at my own fear, and stepped inside. The sound of footsteps echoed long. Water dripped from the ceiling, counting the time. In the middle of the tunnel stood a tall mirror, cracked like a spider's web. I stood right in front of it, exhaling a breath that turned into thin mist. 168 centimeters, I knew because I had just measured at home. But something was wrong. My reflection seemed to lag by a fraction of a second. I raised my hand, the reflection followed. And behind my shoulder, there was a silhouette that wasn't there when I turned. I looked back at the mirror. The silhouette was a thin woman, too tall for a normal human. Her hair swept the floor, her arm joints appeared too long, nails scraping the stone, creating a grinding sound that made my teeth ache. She raised one finger, seemingly counting. A soft whisper, almost like a drop of water, "Ichi. 1. I took a step back, then ran. The shards of glass on the floor reflected us both, me in a panic, and her getting closer. 2. 3. The counting merged with the rhythm of the dripping water, like a deadly metronome. The end of the tunnel appeared as a point of light, but every time I felt closer, the floor seemed to stretch. My breath came in gasps. 4. 5. My shoulders felt heavy, not from fatigue, but as if my body shrank with each count. I remembered the second rumor. If the count reaches 8, you disappear. If you bend down, she thinks you are short enough to be left alone. I paused for a second, though the writing was clear, "Do not stop," then bent down as low as I could, almost crawling. The counting slowed. Roku, Shurchi. Silence. A stillness that made my ears ring. I crawled out of the mouth of the tunnel just as the gray dawn dripped onto the trees. The morning wind slapped my face. My legs trembled. I turned on a height measuring app on my phone. 160 centimeters. 8 centimeters lost somewhere. My pants suddenly felt too long. Since that day, I can still sleep, sometimes. But every time I look in the mirror, my reflection is still a moment late, as if something is holding it back from the other side. And sometimes, when the house is quiet, I hear a distant whisper from the bathroom pipes, "Hachi. 8. As if the counting isn't finished, and she patiently waits for the rest of my miles. Do not stop at the mirror.